Hello, everybody. Long time no see. Welcome to another episode of the Black Line Brief. I'm your host, Matthew McKim. Please, as you come in and get comfortable, hit the like and hit the subscribe. Y'all know what it does. It helps the channel. I like how Baron put it. You don't have to pay anything. You literally just have to click the button. That is the best way to help a channel, is to hit the like, hit the subscribe, click the notifications. It's the best way. So, hope you guys caught Baron's live tonight. A lot of good stuff. I saw Glenn Coco there. I saw somebody in the beginning. I got to remember the name. In the very beginning, gave a shout out to the channel. Thank you so much. I'll remember who it is probably in a couple minutes, but the name escapes me right now. That was very, very kind, really cool. And someone did ask Baron about the Jesse on Fire series, and I'm glad they did. He made it very clear. No, he doesn't think he's alive. He thinks it's ridiculous, and he thinks it is ultimately going to hurt the investigation and hurt those looking into the investigation. Yeah, I wish he would have gone a little bit further, honestly, but because he has a massive platform. And so much would have come of him being very, very outspoken about it. I'm not going to mince my words. Like, I feel very strongly about what that series is doing. And it's accusing Charlie. It's accusing Charlie of things he wouldn't do. And Baron did say that if you believe the series and you believe that Charlie's alive, you would have to believe that Charlie's a horrible person. And he's not. He wasn't. Yeah, and that he compared it to like Q, and how Q kind of threw people out of the political environment and made people apathetic and disengaged. And I read a lot of the comments on Jesse's videos. People believe him. People believe him. He has a massive following, and it was literally a fluff piece for Erica and TPUSA. She's a daisy. She couldn't hurt anyone. None of them could hurt Charlie. Okay, buddy. Well, Baron doesn't think so. Baron thinks that Erica was on the ground before Charlie was assassinated. And that Andrew clearly, I believe too, flew to Arizona to make it look like Erica was flying to Utah from Arizona. That rerouting flight that took place. And someone asked, do I think that Andrew had Erica's phone with her? Well, no, I don't know how he would have got it. If she flew to Utah and he was in Santa Barbara still, how would he have gotten her phone? I mean, all she had to do is like turn it off, turn it on airplane mode, turn it completely off. He flew from Santa Barbara to Arizona and then got on the flight. Both of them could have had their phones turned off or left them somewhere. They also have work phones, but I think they were communicating through the transponders, through the satellite phones that were on the planes. That's why the transponders turned on when the plane was on the ground in Utah. And once Andrew was on the flight from Santa Barbara to Utah, he would have had direct communication with Erica. He would have been able to. I don't know if he did, but they would have been able to communicate that way. There wouldn't have been a need for the phone to stay behind, even though, yeah, to make it look like she was still there. It could have just turned it off. I mean, they're not being forthcoming with any of metadata, things that could totally disprove everything that Candace and Baron and I and others have said. They have so much at their disposal that they could clearly put all this to bed. If they had nothing to hide, if everything's on the up and up, share everything, but they don't. And I think that's pretty obvious why. But Bree Baby X, so glad to see you. At first, I was like, maybe it's going to be by accident a members only. I told Bree Baby X, hey, Glenn, hey, I saw you. You were in the chat at Baron's Live. I couldn't do the members only live because I usually stream through StreamYard into YouTube. And to do a members only live, you have to go straight from YouTube and then go back to streaming and do all this other stuff. And when I tried to, it was connecting the wrong camera and it wouldn't let me change the camera to the camera I use. And so I was like, oh my God, I don't have time to figure this out right now. I'll figure it out this week. And then the next, the real first members only live will be like Friday or Saturday this week. Okay. All right. I got some interesting stuff we're going to look at. Do you guys remember that Mikey McCoy and others at TPUSA said this was the sequence of events after Charlie Kirk was assassinated? Mikey McCoy gets on the phone. He calls his wife, Elizabeth. Okay. He's on the phone with her for like 3 minutes. Then he three-ways Erica. They talk. I don't know how long the duration is. Then he gets off the phone with them. Maybe his wife stays on the phone. I don't know. I just know they three-wayed Erica together. Then he calls his dad. Okay. And then they admit, Mikey said it, others have said it, he called J.D. Vance and Trump. He called them both. They said that. So I found an interview JD did just, I don't know, within the week after with Jesse Waters. We're going to watch what he said. Why would he be lying about it? We're going to look at an interview that one of the Cuomo brother, I don't know his first name, News Nation. And that, I mean, when you saw what Brian, okay, my wife likes Brian Hinton. Sorry, sweetie. But when you see what Brian Hinton did on News Nation, when he interviewed that supposed Lance Twiggs family member, turns out she's like a distant cousin that hasn't seen him in 10 years. Brian didn't do his due diligence and vet her, check her background first. And it came out at a very opportune time. And it clearly was to throw people off course. And it was a bummer. But anyway, so this Cuomo, he works for News Nation too. And he's doing a fluff piece for TPUSA, Erica Kirk and Andrew Kolvet. And he's doing a hit piece on Candace. And it's pretty despicable. And then we have, what else do we have? We have that. And then we have a very interesting video I found of Frank Turek at Boise just days within a week or so after Charlie Kirk assassination. We're going to hear some of the things he says about Candace and the assassination. Is very interesting. Most people haven't seen it. And then we have a video about Tucker and Charlie talking about Philadelphia. All right, let me get this going. Thank you guys all for being here. We're going to start here. Okay.
Much for joining us.
Of course. It's good to see you.
Where were you when you heard Charlie was shot?
So I was in my office in the West Wing. The vice president actually has a couple of offices. There's the executive office.
Wait, is he wearing eyeliner? Why does it look like he's wearing eyeliner? Okay. Sorry.
Building office and the West Wing office. I was in the West Wing and I just finished a meeting with somebody. I'm not even sure who. And I looked at my phone and there were a bunch of group chats. Frankly, a lot of.
Wait, you don't know who you just finished the meeting or the phone call with? Literally the moment before you found out Charlie Kirk was assassinated? I remember everything that happened that day. Okay. All right.
Them that Charlie was in, where they said, Charlie, praying for your brother, hope you're doing okay. And then I opened up my door and somebody said, Charlie's been shot. And it kind of hit me like, oh my God, this is.
Wait, so he's saying, and why would he lie about this? This is so weird, right? He's saying he's part of some group chat and people were like praying for you, Charlie, da 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 da. So he said he found out that way. In a way, he found out that way. And then he opened the door and someone told him Charlie had been shot. Well, okay. I mean, why would Mikey McCoy said he called you within minutes? So within minutes, before people were posting all that stuff and before you would have had time to open the door, why would you lie about how you found out about Charlie Kirk's assassination? Maybe because it looks really weird that Mikey McCoy is calling you directly minutes after the assassination. And this isn't me just saying this. They said this. Candace even verified it. It's on her timeline. So why would JD be lying about this? That's weird. And then he says, he tells Trump, well, why would you say that when Mikey and them said he called you and Trump and told you guys immediately? Bizarre. And they did it also Tyler Boyer, Andrew Kolvet, Blake Neff, and Jack Posobiec on that when they were doing that episode we looked at. They said it there too when they're talking about the amazing Mikey McCoy.
is very real and this is very serious. And what happened over the next hour or so, I'm guessing, is we knew Charlie. It's called your body guy, your special assistant, the person who's always with you. And I had a very dear friend in the West Wing who knew Charlie's body guy, and so his name's Mikey, and he called Mike and said, "Hey, like, what's going on?" And what was really
So now he's saying his body guy called Mikey McCoy. Nope, Mikey McCoy said he called you guys.
I mean, obviously, the news was discombobulated. No one knew what was actually happening. It was a very chaotic moment, but there was a brief period where we were getting good reports from the hospital. And I don't know how plugged in you were to that.
I heard those.
And
too.
so, I saw the initial video. I've only seen it that one time. I refuse to watch it again. I don't want to see that happen to my friend ever again. But I initially thought, terrible, terrible news. And then I started to feel kind of hopeful. And then, of course, we got the news from Mike that Charlie had passed probably about an hour before the rest of the world found out. And I was the person who walked into the Oval Office and said, "Mr. President, I'm sorry, but Charlie passed." And that was a very, very tough moment because Susie Wiles, the White House chief of staff, was in tears, and she doesn't show emotion.
All right. Well, that is really interesting that they would not be telling the truth about that. I wonder why. All right, let's look at this. And I don't want to keep you guys super long tonight. It won't be a 2-hour show, that's for sure. And then I want to do a lot of engagement with you guys towards the end, answer questions, anything's on the table you guys want to ask, okay? We're going to watch this.
Just one day. That's how long the truth had a chance to gasp for life before Candace Owens killed it.
Okay, so that's the first thing he says. So don't mistake. It says TPUSA spokesman on Kirk Owens meeting. So the Erica Kirk Owens and Candace Owens meeting. Right away, he comes out to just slam Candace. So we know what the main focus of this little piece is. Andrew Kolvet clearly knows what's happening. He's okay with it. He's on there. All right. And News Nation is the one doing this. So, I mean, those three parties, well, okay, we got News Nation, we got Cuomo, we got Andrew Kolvet and TPUSA, and possibly Erica Kirk. She's the CEO at this point, and she knows what Andrew's doing, right? So all of those people, to me, I don't trust anything that they say. And at this time, you're going to hear too, I'll play it, and then I'll give you guys, yeah, I just remembered something.
Both Erica Kirk and she said yesterday's meeting was good, was productive. One day later, Owens is back using her platform to spew animus because it's time to get paid, my friends.
Notice the talking points. All of these people are united on the things that they're trying to attack Candace for, that they're pointing out that she's making money. She's doing this to make money. So many people in the TPUSA and the fake news, that's what they've attacked her. Gary Melton, Tim Pool, all of them. They're attacking her because she already had a show. She was already making money. And she just was supposed to not investigate one of her best friend's assassinations and not use her platform to do that. That's ridiculous.
She's provoking rage bait, calling people at TPUSA, her former company, people that she's fine with when she sees them at a party. But for you, she calls them liars who can't be trusted. Let's get perspective from someone who knew Charlie Kirk very well, who understands the circumstances around his death and understands what's going on with Candace Owens very, very well. TPUSA spokesman Andrew Kolvet. Now,
keep in mind, remember, Candace Owens' source for like everything is Andrew Kolvet. Just keep that in mind when he says a couple things.
Andrew, I got to say, first of all, heading into the holy days, Merry Christmas to you and the family. And I was surprised that you guys have been as assertive with this. But I guess my original advice to you, which was just let her spew, it will blow over. It hasn't happened. But she came out of the meeting and literally said, "Okay, guys, I'm alive, Andrew." She said, "I'm alive." Like, what do you make?
Because she had just gotten credible information that there was a hit out on her from what she believed was the French Foreign Legion. Every one of us that were her followers were afraid for her. Most of us were posting things like, "Be careful." And this was, remember, that meeting with Erica took place because the supposed sit down that was supposed to happen with Andrew and Blake Neff and everyone they rescinded that offer in 24 hours, wouldn't let her appear through Zoom, which to us seemed super, super sketchy. And so we're like, what? She can't appear for this via Zoom? They want you in person? That seemed very weird. So there was a lot of reasons why, yeah, every one of us were afraid for her life. And one of the things she came out and said was, I'm alive. And I'm glad she did. She's pointing to the obvious concern that we all had for her.
Of that kind of response from her?
You know, honestly, Chris, I can tell you that I live my life wonderfully immune and distanced from a lot of the chatter that's going on online. And listen, I think Erica, she showed so much grace and poise, both when you think back to the memorial and how she forgave her husband's assassin, because you know, that's biblical. That's the Christian ethic.
No, it's not the Christian ethic to do it 7 days. Don't act like she. No. So we're not Christian if we don't forgive our spouse's murderer or supposed murderer. I mean, like we all know that wasn't Tyler, but in their view, right, that's the only response a Christian could have is to forgive what you believe to be the murder of your spouse within a freaking week or two. Well, okay, 10. I think the memorial was 11 days after. So within 11 days before you've even found out if he did it, right? Like maybe wait till you find out who actually killed your husband before you start forgiving him. And that's the bizarre thing. It clearly wasn't a genuine, she wasn't genuinely forgiving him because like she doesn't even know that he killed him. Because at that point, it's 11 days, like nothing had come out. And even to this day, we all know there's no evidence to prove that he did anything other than become a patsy, and Andrew doesn't answer the question. He asked him the question regarding Candace and he just sidesteps it and then fluff Erica Kirk. She's so amazing. She's the best. She's a Christian. None of you are. She's closer to God than anyone else is. We love her. All right, man.
And if you're wondering how Erica's going to run things, just look at the way she operates. She has tons of courage. She has tons of poise, and she's always going to lead with trying to do the right thing. And so, listen, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I'm not going to get out over my skis. I'm just going to say good for Erica Kirk, leading the way, showing the world how to do things by example, modeling.
Why did they pick all the photos? Okay. In every photo, they're showing Candace in a very negative light. Like she looks angry. She's not. She's in a mid statement, right? You can have a facial expression and not be angry. So they try to make Candace look bad in the photos. And every photo they pick of Erica, she's like crying. She's, wiping her tears, even though I'm looking at that and there are no tears. She is literally just dabbing her cheek.
Christian ethic and good behavior. And listen, I'm gonna pray for peace. I'm gonna hope for the best. But in the meantime, we got lots of work to do.
Oh, there we go. Got a smile.
So she took the meeting to show grace and hope that it would go away. And Candace Owens is really going to use it as fuel. You know what happens next, right? She's going to start saying things that happened in that meeting. I hope you recorded it because she's going to.
He smiles. Look at Andrew. He said, I hope you recorded it. Andrew smiling. There's a lot of nonverbal communication that happens. There is these subconscious reactions, even the micro expressions that we do when we're thinking about something. And I think it's telling. He goes, I hope you recorded it. But now Cuomo's trying to ascribe what Candace is going to do. Before she's done anything, he's telling Andrew, I hope you know what she's going to do. Because, Cuomo, he can see the future. And yeah, that's just obvious.
Now say she's got new clues and indications because she's getting paid by doing this. I know you used to know her. I've been around her a long time. This is different, and I don't think it's going to end. What does that mean to you? Because she talks about you a lot also.
Yeah, well, I've known Candace since probably 2018, 2019, something like that. So yeah, we've known each other for a number of years. But listen, I haven't talked to her that much really since 2019.
Whoa, you haven't talked to her that much since 2019. Huh. This is after the meeting in Tennessee that Justin Strife and Erica Kirk went to. So we could have an actual timeline. But we know you spoke with her directly after the assassination and said, Candace, it's supposed to be you. We know that you were leaking her text messages, information. We know that you are in direct communication with her when you're doing this interview. Andrew, you haven't spoken to her much. You've been speaking to her a lot since September 10th, maybe not before. There was no need to. But you can say that as a fact that you haven't really spoken to her that much. You're a liar. What do all these people that I show on my show have in common? Except for the ones that are like Candace, you know, when I show a clip from her, or Barron or Ian, or, you know, one of them, they all have in common. They're honest people. These individuals all have something in common. They're all lying. JD Vance, why are they all lying? Why is it all about the Charlie Kirk assassination? Small things, big things. It's like anytime they open their mouth, they're lying.
Ish. And I don't know where her head is, and I'm not going to speculate on where she's going next or whatever. I'm going to just hope that the seeds planted in good faith and the olive branch that was offered, that's going to bear fruit. And like I said, in the meantime, you know, Chris, you and I have talked about this. We at Turning Point, we just want to get back to work, and we have AmFest this week. We've got all the biggest speakers in the conservative movement coming to the Phoenix Convention Center. And
hey, somebody in the chat, if you know off the top of your head, when was the Candace Owens, Erica Kirk meeting? I want to say October, maybe November. I'm trying to remember. Because it's right before AmFest, and AmFest was in December. So I think it happened after Thanksgiving. Around Thanksgiving is when the meeting was, because AmFest was December 18th through the 21st of December. But he goes, we just want to get back to work. Yeah, we get it. We know, man. I mean, from day 5, Erica Kirk comes on the scene, you know, back to work. Charlie wants you to work 20-hour days, 80-hour weeks. Don't sleep. Don't even go home. Stay here. Go without food, go without sleep. We just want you to work, build. You know, I can't answer these questions. I'm too busy building. Charlie wants us to build. Yeah, he's up in heaven with God saying, build away. Everyone build, make me money. Yeah, okay, dude. Unreal.
It's all about breakouts, action, what we can do next. We've got work to do as conservatives. We got work to do to kind of bring everybody back together and stop the distractions. And that's what I'm hoping for. So I know that's what Erica.
You guys, did you hear that? Investigating who killed Charlie is a distraction. That's his words. This is a distraction. We're all distracting everyone from building, from growing, from making the organization bigger, more money. Oh, I'm so sorry that your friend's assassination has gotten in the way of you guys building and making money. We're sorry that you look at it as a distraction, Andrew. I'm sorry. Charlie's death is a distraction for you. And Erica, sorry.
My hope is that she ultimately has accomplished that, and we'll see how it plays out.
So by the inaction and showing grace, you want the message of people to be, think whatever you want, but you don't share Candace Owens' concerns. Message sent. AmFest. What is it?
You love how he just threw words in Andrew's mouth. Andrew didn't dispute it, though. He didn't say, no, that's not what I said. That's not how I feel. So you agree with the official narrative, the FedSlop narrative, and you agree with Erica, and you don't agree with any of the concerns that Candace is raising. Check. Got it.
What does it mean to you guys? What should it mean for us?
Yeah, AmFest is the largest conservative multi-day gathering in the country. We're going to have tens of thousands of people at this Phoenix Convention Center. We're going to have JD Vance is going to end the whole conference on Sunday for us. We've got...
He stuttered there. It's like he knew that Erica is going to, endorse JD. He like almost let it slip.
Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, Jesse Waters, you name it. Erica Kirk, of course, is going to be there. And we're going to just have thousands of students from all across the country.
He didn't say Ben Shapiro. That's interesting. Ben Shapiro opened. He mentioned all the big ones, the main ones, but he didn't mention that Ben Shapiro was going to be there, because that would have been controversial to come out ahead of time for sure. We all knew, Charlie did not have him on. He didn't want him on. and comes out now. Ben gave $1 million.
Country as well. From all these chapters that have been growing in the wake of Charlie's assassination, they are going to be coming probably to their first AmFest, and so there's nothing like it. The production value, the quality of the programming, and again, we have these breakouts, action, action, action. It was Charlie's Super Bowl event of the year. It'll be our first one that we do without him, and I fully intend and I fully expect that the team's going to make him proud.
Well, we'll be watching. We'll see what.
All right, dude. All right, let's see. Let's go here and see what this guy has to say. All right. Let me make it bigger.
And in a lot of suggestions that there's all sorts of conspiracies out there about who killed Charlie. It's fine to ask questions. It's fine to suggest that maybe this happened, maybe that happened, but it's not fine to insinuate that people are guilty of murder.
Look how sly he is. How sickening is that? He says it is okay to ask questions and to look into things, which is literally all Candace has done. It's because when she asks questions, she doesn't get answers. She gets lies, and then she points out the lies and goes, why would someone lie about this? It makes it look like you're guilty of something and you're hiding something. Why would you be hiding anything in regards to the assassination and the days and the weeks after? Maybe because it looks you're guilty. I mean, that's just the natural conclusion of that chain of logic. So no, Frank, no one's made a claim that we think anyone did anything. We have questions about all these things that happen before, during, and after, and they all involve everyone around Charlie. And yeah, it looks very suspicious and everyone looks really guilty, but we've never said of what, because Barron doesn't know, Candace doesn't know who did what. We have theories of how he died. We think it was the mic. We think it was this mic, the exploding mic and the electrocuting mic. We don't know who pulled the trigger. It looks like Brian Harple, he had his hands under his shirt like this, and he's twisting or pushing on something under his thumb. Blake Bednards points that out on his X account. He clearly turned something on in his pocket. So like we have what is like circumstantial evidence that points to what we think we know of some things, but barely. We don't know the whole theory is not finished yet. And so, no, Candace hasn't made an actual claim. We don't think any one person did anything. It's everyone involved looks suspicious and then lies, which looks like they're guilty, because if you're innocent, you don't lie about something. You just don't. You tell the truth. And so, yeah, Frank, nice try, dude.
Or they're in some sort of murder conspiracy unless you have really strong evidence. My friend Mikey McCoy.
Wait, do we have to have as good a evidence as you guys have about Tyler? Is that what you consider good evidence? So if we have the amount of evidence that you guys have about Tyler, then we can make claims? Oh, what do you know? We have better evidence than what you guys have about Tyler. The case against Tyler Robinson is junk. What Candace and Barron and Ian and everyone has compiled way more evidence as to a conspiracy surrounding Charlie, taking him out and covering it up than what the state of Utah has on Tyler Robinson.
Whom I talked to today is getting death threats.
Oh, poor Mike.
I get what appear to be death threats.
Poor Frank.
You never know what can happen to you.
Oh.
In fact, before Charlie,
Yeah.
these gentlemen were not with me.
Okay.
Before Charlie, we didn't even have a police officer in the back of the room.
I mean, Charlie didn't really have anyone for him either. The people that were there for him didn't do his job. There was a guy standing on the roof behind him looking directly at the Losi Center, and supposedly Tyler Robinson still pulled that off. But they didn't get drones, but then the media team had drones. Yeah.
Why do we need that now?
I think you're afraid. I mean, yeah. But of what?
Bible is very clear You need 2 witnesses to convict somebody.
Oh my goodness.
You don't gossip. You don't slander people. Unfortunately, I think too much of that is going on. So far, I've heard.
Wait, so you guys are slandering Tyler. You're gossiping about Candace. Literally, that's what you're doing. You're slandering Candace as well. Candace was one of Charlie's closest friends. She can't ask questions and point out that those around him are lying and hiding things. Okay, so we just can't do anything. You just want us to sit on our hands and accept the Fed slop narrative and move on. You want us to move on and accept that everything doesn't look extremely fishy and suspicious. Okay, Frank.
That Candace and others, it's not just Candace, have suggested Netanyahu killed him.
No.
Israel killed him.
No.
Trump killed him. TPUSA killed him.
No.
Mikey McCoy, his dad, Rob McCoy, had something to do with it.
No, literally, she has said it looks like everyone had something to do with it. We don't know any one person actually is the one that took him out. Okay, with all of the Fort Huachuca stuff, everything, it seems that everyone is involved in this somehow, in some way. We don't know how yet specifically, but we're getting close. And she has never made a direct claim that she thinks so-and-so killed him. She thinks so-and-so killed him. She's never done that. And you can get up there and do that as a Christian is insane.
The FBI, Egypt.
Yeah.
I heard France today.
All had a part in it.
I thought all France did was surrender.
Oh. I mean, telling a joke about the assassination of your friend, it's bizarre. This is like a week later. This is so weird.
Let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. Unless those possible culprits in Charlie's murder all work together on some grand conspiracy, that most of what is being said about this has to be false.
Why?
Do you see the point?
No.
If you're going to suggest all these different people are involved,
Yeah.
They can't all be involved.
Why?
It strains credulity to say they're all somehow involved.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe one of them did it.
Okay, that's literally the dumbest argument. Go look at the JFK assassination. There were so many moving parts and individuals that did one thing, did this thing, and some of them didn't even know that they were aiding in the assassination or the cover-up of the assassination. Unwitting individuals told to do something, blind allegiance to the authority that was over them. Okay, no, conspiracies are real. 2 or more people conspiring to pull off a crime, and it doesn't strain credulity. Oh my gosh, I can't say that. Oh, that's bad.
But that means most of what's being said about this is false. And what if the guy who actually has been charged with the crime really did it? Then every single thing that is being said regarding conspiracies, if he acted alone, is certainly false.
What?
Now, the trial is probably not going to be for at least another year. We can't keep spinning conspiracy theories without evidence. People are going to get hurt.
Wait, what? Okay, I don't know if I think what he's saying. It's like a veiled threat, but all of the Christian students, he's out of college, he's in Boise. He knows that by doing and saying what he's doing, he's trying to get people to stop watching her, stop listening to her, to stop investigating this, to accept the official narrative and to move on. That's what he's trying to do. He's using his, perceived authority, influence to try to sway things in their direction. And that's disgusting.
So I plead, if you're watching this kind of stuff,
Oh, there it is.
or you know people that are,
Yeah.
you need to say, hey, it's okay to ask questions. It's not okay to insinuate. People are guilty unless you have really strong evidence.
Oh, okay.
In fact,
Mhm.
if I were to say, I really think Candace Owens did this, I really think she did. You know why? Because Charlie stopped inviting her to the big events. And she thought if she could get rid of Charlie, then maybe they'd ask her to be the head.
What a jerk. Oh my gosh, dude. Man, I about want to jump through this screen right now. We know Charlie the night before said, I want to invite Candace. And he didn't stop inviting her. There was a fallout because he lied about money because of Erica Kirk and everyone else surrounding him. He went to that meeting in Florida with a donor, lied directly to Candace's face, and Candace got engaged, man. Candace was married. Life moves on. She stopped working at the Daily Wire. Like, things changed. She started doing her own thing. But clearly, Charlie was not distancing himself from Candace at all. In fact, he sent the text the night before. Not only am I going to bring Tucker, I'm going to have Candace. Yeah, no, he didn't stop inviting her. I know this is a hypothetical, but even the hypothetical, he's trying to weave in some BS as to why the hypothetical would be believable. Yeah.
Of turning point. And she's bringing all this up, citing all these other people to cover her own tracks.
Oh.
And I really think she's jealous of Erica too. I think she's the one that did this. You know, this all checks out.
Yeah.
Would that be fair? No.
I mean, if you had even dude, enough circumstantial evidence actually becomes pretty convincing evidence. You don't always need physical evidence, eyewitness accounts. We have an eyewitness account to one of the events. Okay. But there is so much circumstantial evidence pointing to you and those around Charlie. It's unreal. And the fact that you're all lying about everything is I don't know, a key indicator that something's wrong. You're hiding what the answers are. The truth is, no one does that if they're innocent, man. They just don't.
Oh, it's not fair. It's ridiculous. I have no evidence for it. But I submit to you, that appears to be what she's doing, knowingly or unknowingly, to people for which she has no evidence they were involved. I need to say one other thing about this.
Okay, buddy.
Candace makes a big deal of Mikey McCoy turning away and immediately getting on his phone when Charlie was shot.
Yeah.
She said there's only 3 possible things you can do.
Okay.
In a situation like this.
Yeah.
You either run toward the problem, you run away from the problem, or you freeze. Candace Owens doesn't know what she's talking about here.
Why?
Because these men in these rooms will tell you that when a traumatic event occurs, if they're trained to do something, they automatically do it. I was in the Navy. We had emergency procedures. You practice those emergency procedures over and over again. So when the disaster strikes, you don't even have to think. You just do it. Why did I run to get in the car? Because I thought beforehand, if Charlie ever gets shot and I'm there, I'm going to do whatever I can to help.
Yeah, but you didn't train it. You didn't practice it. And what you're saying, okay, so this is trying to go with that whole theory that Charlie was having everyone surrounding him train that in the event and that's just it's so insane to think that Charlie was doing this and that they were practicing this ready. Okay, I'm dead. Run 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, and just turn around and walk away, not run away. Don't look to see where the possible threats are. Don't jump on the ground because you have no clue if there's more shots coming. You don't know if it's from your left, up above, from behind. How do you know you're walking in the right direction, Mikey? How are you so calm? He turns around and he was already on the phone, it's just bizarre. Already on the phone, 0.8 something milliseconds or whatever. Didn't have enough time to dial. Already on the phone with his wife. And then 3 ways Erica. But he turns around and just walks. He just walks. Charlie hadn't even hit the ground. He didn't look at what happened to Charlie. He heard the sound of the explosion, turned the opposite way. He didn't turn to the right. He didn't want to look. He turned that way and then walked that way. Oh, and Charlie had him practice that. So he just knew, and he just like, boom, went right into it, but didn't run, didn't jump on the ground, didn't hide, didn't scream, didn't do anything that would indicate he was surprised at what was happening. Yeah, I think it is that you guys did practice everything. I mean, I think that's part of our claim is that you guys practice this a lot, but you practice the assassination is what we think, that in my opinion. Yeah.
Didn't even need to think about it.
Yeah, we know that.
Charlie drilled into Mikey, who at the time was only 23 years old. Drilled into him. If anything ever.
Why does he say this like that was like years ago? Why is he saying that as if to like, hey, I just want to point out he was only 23 at the time. This is like in the same year. This is ridiculous. He was so much younger. It was so long ago, you guys. He was only 23. Give him a break. He was just a kid.
Whatever happens to me, the first thing you do is call Erica.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not practicing. So that doesn't build muscle memory. Okay. So Charlie just telling him something, which I don't believe anyway, that's not going to build in muscle memory. The moment a traumatic situation happens, your brain shuts down. You don't work on the full capacity. You go into fight or flight, bro. And so Charlie telling him, oh, make sure to call, would have done no good unless he actually had him drill it. And it would have helped if he was like on the ground in UVU and practice live scenarios. Like that's what you do. That's what you do. It's called live fire practicing training. Okay. The more real you can train to simulate the actual event, the better your response is going to be. None of that happened at all. And I don't even think Charlie said any of this stuff. It's part of their narrative to try to give excuses for their weird behavior. Charlie just saying, oh, make sure to call Erica. Well, he didn't even do that. He was on the phone with freaking Elizabeth McCoy. He was on the phone with her for 3 minutes before he three-wayed Erica. Did Charlie say to do that? Hey, dude, in the event that anything happens to me, call your wife, talk to her for 3 minutes, and then three-way Erica. That's what I want you to do. So even if he did tell him whatever he told him, which he didn't, and had him practice, which he didn't even do that. Okay. Oh, okay, Frank, you go, dude.
Why would he run to Charlie when Charlie has 6 guys around him carrying him to the car?
Well,
all he would do would be get in the way.
Like you did. Well, he didn't see that anyone actually went to his aid because he turned and walked away before anyone even had time to jump over the table. Mikey was gone before Charlie hit the ground, before Dan Flood helped him so gently to the ground.
Mikey did exactly what he was trained to do.
Trained like a military guy.
Now, once the trial comes out,
yeah,
we'll find out the truth.
No, I really don't think we're going to find out the truth. I have optimism that we might find out some things that we don't know, but it looks like it's going to be a show trial, and poor Tyler doesn't have a chance. But yeah, good on you, Frank. We're going to find out everything, and the truth is going to be vindicated over all the lies.
The ultimate truth. But let's not insinuate people are guilty unless you have really, really good evidence. Oh, I have to say this too. Sorry, I just keep going on.
Yeah, you do.
People don't seem to understand how prosecutions work. I mean,
you guys, this is also, remember, Erica in one of the interviews was like, you know, we just need to inform the public about how our court system operates. The public is just so stupid. They don't know how trials work. It's not like we didn't watch the O.J. Simpson trial. It's not like we didn't watch the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. It's not like we haven't like watched trials, let alone like just from common knowledge. Like most of us aren't stupid, Frank, and we do know how the judicial system works. Oh, but you and Erica, can you guys please tell us how it works? Tell us how this is going to go. because we just don't know. We need you to tell us. Just go ahead and tell us how it's going to happen, because we're all just so dumb. Stupid old public.
You had the case here with Kohlberg. What's his name? Kohlberger.
Like you don't know.
How many people were spinning conspiracy theories about that and frustrated?
Bro, don't get me started. That is weird. We might cover that. It might be a members only. I've gotten emails. People are interested in that. And I live up by that area, and it is weird. So what? Oh, that's another conspiracy. Oh, case cut, closed. It's perfectly wrapped up in a bow.
Because we weren't getting enough information from the prosecution. My friend J. Warner Wallace, who has prosecuted many cases, he's a cold case homicide detective. I had him on the show about a month ago to talk about these conspiracy theories. He said the prosecution will never reveal what they have before they have to. Why?
So Frank Turek had a direct line to someone that was a cold case investigator, someone he could have picked his brain and been like asking questions about other cases and other scenarios to like gain intel on how to make sure that they did whatever they were going to do the right way. I mean, they're really bad at it, even if they did do that. But I mean, that's interesting. He had him on the show to talk about this whole thing. Okay, Frank, don't show all your cards, man. We're starting to put this together, dude.
Let me just give you one example.
Oh, yeah.
Suppose they're investigating a second shooter, and I submit to you they probably are. Why? Because in the trial, the defense team is going to say, did you investigate the second shooter? Yeah, we did. But if they come out and say, we're investigating a second shooter.
Wait, so he did just say that in the affirmative. He did just say that. He said, I submit to you that they are investigating a supposed second shooter. Okay, Frank, why would you tell us all that? How would you know that? What? Okay. That's weird. I thought Tyler did it by himself on top of the Losi Center. One shot, one kill. Got away with it, only to throw it all away because he's just so dumb.
If a witness comes forward and says, oh, I saw the second shooter, they don't know if that witness really saw the second shooter or that person is making stuff up so he can make a name for himself.
I don't know why it keeps getting muted every
In the jury pool, they can't tip off the defense. The prosecution's job is to convict the real killer. The prosecution's job is not to have an ongoing soap opera on YouTube to tell you what they have. That would defeat their responsibility.
Then why is supposedly Erica Kirk getting all the updated information about this trial and investigation? Why does she say she's getting updated all the time by them and she knows exactly what they have? And it's a very strong case, and she believes 100% it was Tyler. Oh, but she's not tainting the jury pool, Frank?
Of convicting the real killer. And I can tell you they are tracking down conspiracy theories. Why? Because I was the subject of one of them. And I was the guy in the white hat next to Charlie, who people said that I was signaling the shooter, which is the stupidest thing in the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
If a shooter is on a roof somewhere, he can't see me anyway if he's looking through a scope. I mean, here was Charlie. I was about right where Ty is here. He can't see me anyway. And why would he need me to, or anybody to signal who Charlie Kirk is? Charlie Kirk. This
is the dumbest straw man argument I've ever heard. Okay. So if he said he was keeping up with the conspiracies. So no, the signal wasn't for Tyler. Dude, get Tyler out of your mind. Why are you focused on Tyler? None of us think Tyler did it. Okay. Unwitting Patsy, maybe, helped in the dropping something off, or I don't know yet. Didn't go up on that roof, didn't take a shot. That's not what killed Charlie at all. Okay. And you saying, oh, I knew that was going to happen. I just lost my train of thought. Goodness. I'm sorry. It'll come to me once I hit play. I apologize.
Kirk's the only guy under the tent with the microphone.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. See how quick it comes back. No one was saying that the signal was for Tyler, because that would mean you were connected to Tyler. No. Frank, pay attention. Maybe we need to teach you the signal was for everyone there on the ground. Brian Harple, Dan Flood, Rick Cutler. Everyone there needed some sort of nonverbal communication as to, is this proceeding? As to how much time left? As to, it's a go, 1, 2, 3, go. That's what those signals were. We got your hat tilt, cheek squeeze. No one squeezes their cheek like that. That is a freaking signal. What are you talking about? You said, oh, I was itching my nose. That was one of his lies. Then we have Dan Flood step forward, look left, look right, shake arm, pat bicep. That's a signal. Then we have Hunter Kozak right before he asks the last question, which is also a sign. When they hear that question, that also is a sign. And then the signal from Hunter, he looks at Brian Harple and he goes like this, like we're a go. I'm about to ask the question. He does that, looks back at Charlie, asks the question. And that's when Brian Harple primes it, or it was already primed like 30 seconds before that. That's when Brian Harple, he registers and goes with his thumb. I've watched all these videos so many times. You guys can. It's on X. I'm not making this up. You go look at it. All those signs were to, and then a lot of the other signs that we saw were distractions. Like Rick Cutler's little shirt thing. When you watch it in slow-mo, actually the bang happens before the shirt, before he does that. It doesn't happen the other way around. So nothing came out of his shirt. It was another distraction. They had a lot of people in the audience and all around doing random things. Like there's the guy that was behind doing stuff with his hand. The person with the camera like moved it right before the, so if Charlie's sitting here, there's a guy with a camera on a pole right here and he's holding it and he like moves it last second. The lady doing one of the cameras in front of Charlie twists something right before. So many people were doing just distraction. And you guys were doing signals so that people knew when to arm and trigger the device, whatever the device was, whether that was the Rode mic is one, okay, that had to be wirelessly detonated, which it clearly was, because the shirt moves before the bang. And a bullet doesn't do that. It just doesn't. Even a 30-06. It doesn't make a shirt fly up. What broke his necklace? What did that? What ungrounded his mic? Why did he tense up? He bit his lip. You can go watch the video. Clearly, he's being shocked, and that mic shoots across. How did that happen? We got the AV guys, Terrell Farnsworth in 1776 over there messing with the AV board the whole time. And then 1776 guy looks away right before the explosion goes off, right before. Yeah. Yep.
So the FBI called me. Said, sorry, I have to ask you this. I'm so sorry, but were you signaling the shooter?
How often does the FBI or policeman doing an investigation apologize to a suspected suspect? Someone they think is a possible suspect of a crime. Hey, I'm really sorry. I have to investigate you in the possible commission of this crime. I mean, that's bizarre. And I bet they did apologize. And I bet it was just so they could check the box. Yes, we went and spoke to Frank Turek. We spoke to everyone. Check.
Yeah, I was telling him to steal second base.
Yeah, that's funny, dude. Your friend was killed.
I mean, why do people believe this stuff? It's ridiculous.
He's looking at a security team that's just off the stage. Some of them followed it. Brian Harple and Dan Flood are with him at different events. I don't know if that's who's with him today, but at a previous event, he points over and goes, Dan Flood. He goes, Brian Harple. And so some of the guys that were around Charlie that day are around him still.
So they are checking into conspiracy theories, but they're not going to tell you about it, because if they tell you about it, it defeats what they're trying to accomplish. And that is find and convict the real killer.
I thought you guys were positive you had the real killer. All right. That's that. Let me go here. Let me make sure it's sharing. Let me make it big. All right. Well, hold on. Let me look at the time. Oh, we're at an hour. I didn't want to go super long. I'm going to save this video actually for one of the next videos I do because there's a couple things I can show with Tucker, and people asked to show Charlie and Tucker together. And so I will save that because it's an hour already. Perfect timing. And I want to interact with you guys. I also want to open it up. You guys can ask me questions, whether it's about me, whether it's about the case. I just would love, I love interacting with you guys. I love seeing how you guys think, and you guys are hilarious and smart and quick and witty. It's so great. 2 videos in one day. Sweet. Thank you, Bree Baby X. And then Bianca JD, new member. Welcome to the team, Bianca. All right, let's go back to the live comments. All right, let's see. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. We got Glenn Coco. There were so many things to send us down a ton of rabbit holes. Hand signals, Kozak, Zin, Jezebel article, Destiny Discord chats. Yep, or Destiny and then Discord chats, Amazon books, etc. I agree, Glenn Coco. Let's see, Jim Bear, oh, Mystic Gypsy 311. We are stoked you're here. Yep. Let's see. No blood behind Charlie, none. No blood on the ground all the way to the SUV. Yeah, I covered that the other day, Penelope. There's no exit wound. Okay, so yeah, there's not going to be blood behind Charlie because he wasn't shot with the 30-06. It would have done tremendous amount of damage. However, if the concussion from the road mic was so severe, and many other people like Stu Peters have spoken to surgeons that work directly with and for traumatic brain injury individuals who get like a gunshot wound to the head or an electrocution or an explosion. And what the surgeon said was the explosion was so strong, it was a traumatic brain injury, and he was electrocuted, okay? Stopped his heart, no more blood spurting, nothing shooting out. And then the blood that came out of his neck was from his brain. It was dark, it was thick, coagulated brain blood that poured out. By the time they got over to him, most of it that was there was done, because the heart is what would be pushing more and more and more blood out. If they shoved gauze in and wrapped it up, there's not going to be any more blood. Just what initially fell out when we saw what fell out, and maybe a little bit more until they packed it. Once they packed it with gauze, wrapped it, secured it, and took them to the car, there wouldn't be a trail. There wouldn't. Okay? And that's one of the arguments Jesse makes, that he faked it. No, bud. There's a much better reason for that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Jim Bear, before, when all just thought the 30-06 medical professionals said they knew he was gone, and they compared it to an electrocution. Yes, Gemini. Yeah, he wasn't walking out that day. And I don't even believe that they got a pulse back. They said, because remember, Frank Turek and them said in the car, there was no pulse. He had doll's eyes. He was looking into heaven, is what Frank said. Okay. But supposedly when he finally got to the hospital, they supposedly got a pulse for a very short amount of time and then didn't. I also think that's fake news. I don't know that the surgeon actually said that. We can't even trust anything that comes out of Andrew Kolvet or Erica's mouth. Andrew Kolvet said the surgeon said the Superman neck, the neck of steel, it was a miracle. Nope. That was Erica on a 3-way with Andrew Kolvet, surgeon, and her. She's the one that entered that. So, I mean, I don't believe that they said they got a pulse at all. If he was, which I think he was, electrocuted with extremely high voltage from an ungrounded mic, and then the explosion from the road mic, Charlie was gone. And I think that is what happened. And yeah. All right, let me see. Watch it again, but looking at Charlie. Let's see. Hands yellow, heart red. Okay, hey, Mystic. All right, let's see. The convincing thing to me that CK is gone is because of seeing his mother. Yeah, Dino, I mentioned that too. Go look at the videos from his mom and his dad the day at DC when they get the medal. And then I found footage of them from behind at the memorial. They're freaking distraught. Yeah, like, oh, he's going to let them think that? They're not faking that. Those are just normal people. They're faking that genuine grief. No, I don't know if I really thought the a entire county was after me. I might fake my death to protect my family. Did you mean country? Just saying, you can see it. Yeah, I'm sorry you think that. Candace, Barron, and all of us, no. He's not going to fake his death and allow an innocent man to be put on death row. He's not going to do that to his family. He's not going to do that to his wife. And look at everything that happened to his wife. He's supposedly okay with everything that's going down. No, he's not going to do that to Candace and Tucker and Megan, Dave, and all those that are actually that care about him. No. I mean, if literally he was in fear of his life and he needed it to be protected, so he had a security team. He could have gone to witness protection. That's not what happened, man. He didn't fake his death on that scene, so that it's just ridiculous. The claim is just so baseless. And I'm sorry people are buying Jesse's BS. And that's what Barron said. He said it's disinformation and it's going to do way more harm than good. It's going to make people apathetic to looking into the investigation, to staying up to date on the investigation. It's a distraction. And the fact that he fluffed Erica, fluffed Andrew, and everyone at TPUSA, but at the same time, he freaking slammed Charlie, calls him a liar, says he's got no ethics and no morals, because in order to do what Jesse is saying, he's saying Charlie did, that's what you're saying, man. That he's going to lie. He's going to let all this happen to innocent people. It's just so crazy. Yeah, and the fact that Charlie told Candace he would die young and front load her all that information, just each and everything seems to point to a plan. All right, I'm going to not keep reading things, you guys. If you really think that, I'm just bummed for you. Okay, surgeons only work on the living and those fully stabilized to endure surgery. CK would have only been seen by the ER doc. Good point. Unfortunately, there are evil, fake people. Penelope, yeah, but Charlie's not one of them. Hard to find now, but like 2 weeks before reports out of Florida say he was found in a hotel room. Who, Charlie? Okay, 100% Matt. Thank you, Bree, baby. Yeah, real. I don't understand that part, but people do stupid things every day. All right. Some of these you guys are having conversations with each other, so me reading them out loud kind of doesn't actually give context to what you guys are saying. Let's see. Syncopated. During falling, CK moves again like another shock. During falling. Well, I mean, he doesn't like fall on his own. He's like beginning to fall, and then Dan kind of like helps him to the ground faster. But yeah, like if there was multiple, and because he was holding on to the mic all the way to the ground. Okay. His hands were like, they actually were like this. Okay. And you could like almost see the white in his knuckles. A high shock like that, the electricity's moving through him. It's possible that it was still ungrounded. And maybe that's what they were doing. They were trying to get everything off of him, because if they have to put hands on him to get him out of there, they don't want to get electrocuted by that wire that's ungrounded. Yeah. PSYOP doesn't mean he's alive. I agree with that. Yeah. Thank you. Your favorite darkness. I agree. I believe there is a PSYOP, but I don't think he's alive. When in doubt, follow the money. Jesse's pants are on fire. Yes, Quinn. PSYOP doesn't mean he's dead either. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on from that. Agree with you and Barron. Jesse is a distraction. He needs to be called out for the distraction he is. Yeah, and I wish Barron could have done that, because he's got such a major platform. People really, really look up to him. I get that he didn't want to do that. I think he didn't want to affect Jesse's content, maybe, which to me, I think I don't like that idea either. That means like, I don't know. I can't ascribe meaning to Barron. I don't know. I wish he would have been a little bit more outspoken as to like how crazy this theory is, how ridiculous it is, and what would the motive for Jesse to be doing this. There's no good motive, honestly. People would have listened to Barron. I have a very small following. I love you guys. Most of us are like 80-90% on board on the same things. We got some people in here that aren't there yet, but that's fine. But yeah, I kind of wish Barron would have said a little bit more. But I'm glad he said something. I'm glad someone asked. I'm glad he said what he did say. I think he could have gone a little bit further. Let's see. Next, why would you be bummed for people who hold that opinion? To believe something that's that ridiculous and that clearly, like, I've watched all of Jesse's videos. I mean, even what Barron said, like, you would have to believe Charlie's not a good person, that he's lying, that he's running this whole operation, that he would let his parents think that he was dead, that he would let Tyler Robinson go to jail, go to prison, be convicted, be on death row. If you believe that about Charlie, I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, so I feel bad that people can be easily misled. That's all. I did not know Charlie, not personally. I didn't need to know him personally. Okay, I watched him every day. Every day. You can ask, well, you're not going to ask my wife, but I watched him every single day. Okay, he was a good person, an honest person. He's not going to lie. He's not going to cheat. He's not going to scam people. All right. We'll move on. Do I think Einstein is alive? They are all connected. Who's all connected? You think TPUSA? That whole guy, I mean, I showed a little bit of the video and then my stream went out on the previous live, but I'm glad Barron talked about that guy on X. Yeah, Danks and Barron and I, that's disinformation. That guy on X trying to say what he said, all lies on X. But yeah, I showed him one of my previous videos, photos that I think are pretty compelling, photos of somebody in Philadelphia right now that look exactly like Einstein. So yeah, I don't think he's dead. And I think everything points to that he's not dead. The reports from the prison guard, the nurse that was supposed to see him, he left his cell and then never came. Someone came in fatigues in a van, brought someone else in, someone else left. Yeah, I don't think he's alive, but I wonder if CK could be persuaded if they threatened his kids. No, like, why couldn't he? Who's they? Who would have threatened him? Philly? He couldn't have just gone to, I mean, now we're speculating what ifs like crazy. I mean, I think that what we know is more compelling about that he's not here than what we don't know. And I think if he was threatened from Philly, like, why couldn't he have just gone to anyone here in the United States? Why couldn't he have gone to the FBI? Why couldn't he have gone to Trump? Why couldn't he have gone to JD Vance? Okay, why couldn't he have done a number of things instead of what? Planning this whole thing and orchestrating a fake his death and letting his family and friends believe that he's gone. Let's see. Jesse is getting his talking points from Valhalla FedSlop. I agree, Glenn Coco, 100%. Stop acting like you knew him personally, Penelope. No one. I just said I didn't know him personally, but you watch enough hours of someone, you can get a good sense of who they are. He wasn't a fake person. He wasn't up there pretending to be who he was. He was very genuine. Yeah. All right. Is Penelope Jesse? It might be. It might be. Yeah. I left a comment on his thing, so he might have showed up. Who knows? When in doubt, the answers are always around the money. I mean, I agree with that. Yeah. All right. I got to go down further. Let's see. When it first happened, I was watching Balak's tones, and I thought it was a fake. The way, he bled out looked very strange. As you guys have gone through different scenarios, I've totally changed my mind. Yeah, thank you. He did try to go to his former security, and then his guard was hospitalized. Who? I don't know who that is about. I'm not even going to read that person's anymore. I'm done with that. All right. Let's see if there's any new super chats. Nope. The last one was syncopated. I thank everybody for showing up here today. You guys are awesome. And let's see. Who said is Penelope? I don't know. It was in the comments, Bree baby. Somebody did. It was hilarious. It was Gemini. The Queen said that. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Great pod tonight, bud. Thank you, Patrick. Gemini's hilarious. Mystic, oh my gosh, Mystic, you're too You're too generous. Let's read this. Sorry, I was late tonight. I'll be on rewatch crew. Shout out to Jim Bear for holding down the fort. Yeah. No, don't worry. I didn't give a lot of notice. I was working on different things. I was trying to figure out how to do the members only live. Okay. And what's crazy is like literally like when the minute started counting down, I found a way that I could possibly do it, but I wasn't sure. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to do this? And then it like messed things up. So I'll try that beforehand. This week, I'll figure it out. Yeah, I love it. Gail. Barron does not believe that Charlie is alive. Barron is keeping up with Jesse to see what he says. And I agree that Charlie would not do that to his mother and to his family or his kids. 100%. Yep. Let's see. I can't. Okay. Let's see. Corbell, the Black Line Brief. Agree with you or Charlie. He was genuine and authentic. Thank you, Queen. Hard to believe how the Cuomos still show their faces in public. I agree, especially after Governor Cuomo, who was responsible for the deaths of so many elders after mandating them to nursing homes during the plan. Yeah, I know. It's so sad. Yes, let's see. All right. It's still going. All right. I read all the supers. Thank you, Jim Bear. Thank you, Mystic. Thank you, Bree. There's so many others. Glenn Coco, the regs, the members, all the new members. Thank you for participation. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for, please hit the like and the subscribe. Pretty please. It helps the channel. It's the only thing you got to do. You hit the like, you hit the subscribe. Best way to support a content creator. Other than that, okay, I'll read this. Great community, even though we don't agree on everything, we can respectfully disagree. Correct. I agree with that, Glenn Coco. I agree. People are allowed to hold their own opinions. Yep. Without attacking anyone else. I agree. All right. Let's see. No, they're popping in. All right. They're just going to keep popping in. I'll never end up getting off. I'll end up reading forever. Thank you guys so much. God bless you guys. Have a great Sunday night. Get some rest. Let's attack this week with energy. I don't know. Mondays are hard. You know what I mean? Mondays are hard. Love you guys. God bless. See you guys next week.